All right. Hello, Elvenar fans, and welcome back to another Q&A. This time around for the winter event, and it's me again, Lucas. I'm here with Thiago, who's a game designer working on our events, and we're here to answer all of the questions that you might have. So please put them into the chat. On YouTube, on Facebook, we'll try to get through as many as we can. But while you're typing and while we're gathering your questions, we can start by just talking about the winter event in general. So Thiago, what is it about? What's this behind it?
So, good afternoon. This winter event tells us a little bit more about the story of Inuma and Uli. Last time they had a very long mission during the winter trying to deliver all the gifts. And Uli was under training. She was a very small owl. Now she's already trained and she started to work together with Inuma into delivering all the gifts. The problem is during the night, weirdly, Uli doesn't stay in the post office anymore. She doesn't want to play with her friends anymore. She's always flying into the frozen plains and spending the night there and coming back in the morning for the shift. Inuma gets very, very worried about it. What is this small owl doing there? And she decided herself, together with you, to visit the frozen plains and discover why it's so interesting for Uli there. Getting there, she sees a small goblin sitting in front of a big crevice in the floor and a lot of weird sounds happening in there. She gets to know Boblin, the goblin, that is a very dedicated, passionate, and ambitious goblin. And he's working now into building the biggest gift distribution network in whole Elvenar. And for that, he needs your help and Inuma help to complete all the quests and create the biggest distribution network that the continent have ever seen.
Cool. And that brings us right to the main reward of the event, right?
Precisely. For this event, we have the Boblin's distribution center. It's the dream that Boblin had since he was small. And everything he wanted to know to do is have this distribution center. The Boblin evolution building will allow you to start by collecting resources. And as it progresses, you'll be able to produce supplies and for higher chapters, mana, seeds, and for the players final two chapters, you will have a steady supply of uranium. As the building evolves, to stage 9 and 10, we also decided to relics, give some on the last two stages, and for the players that reach all the way to level 10, they will have a daily production of the magical manufacturing enchantment. Yes. Yes, for this event, we created 4 new daily buildings: the sled tunnel network, the frostberry bar. We created also the magic supply station, and one of the ones I like the most because of the art is the snowball fight. We have to remember that this event is all about reunion and having all the races working together. And I think the snowball fight really depicts clearly what the winter spirit is about. You have all the races playing together after working in the distribution center, having some drinks in the frostberry bar, and then playing some snowball fights in front of their huts.
Yep. So how do you earn all those prizes? You have to collect postal keys, right? So how do you do that?
Yes. To collect all those prizes, we have on this event the possibility of completing the daily quests, and also collecting the keys that will appear around your city. You can collect as many postal keys as you, and then on the main event window, you can use these keys to open postal boxes, to open boxes. Inside these boxes, you're gonna find daily prizes. You're gonna find some enchantments, some units, some
Yeah, the awesome thing about the shuffleboard is that you like a guaranteed daily price, right? If you spend enough postal keys there, in the worst case, after 16 boxes, you will get one, which is pretty cool. It's guaranteed daily price.
And you also have the tools you can use to increase your chances. You can use the magnifying glass to reveal 2 of the boxes even before you open it. And you also can use the reward doubled to double the rewards inside a postal box. And the combination of both is incredible. You can pick on the boxes you have, double, and then collect 2 times the rewards.
Yeah, it's a lot more strategic than you see at first sight, right? Because when you start playing the event, you see it seems like you can just open the boxes one by one, and there's no real strategy involved. But using these tools to your advantage and then reshuffling at the right time, depending on what you want to get out of the event, that can go a long way.
Definitely.
So let's move on to some questions from players. So we have one question from Sue. Are the tasks hard for low chapter players?
All the quest conditions possible and on the correct level, even for beginners. So if you're in chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, go for the event, play it. It's gonna sometimes require a little bit more effort on specific quest conditions, but I can assure you that everything was scaled to allow you to complete the whole event.
Yep. And if you find something particularly difficult, please give us feedback as well, right? Because every event we are trying to get better. It's a pretty big task to all the different chapters, right? We have 19 chapters by now, so making sure it fits for every single chapter is a challenge. But I think we're getting better. And if you have a quest that you're having trouble with, just let us know, and maybe we can find a better way to scale it next event. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Can you apply snow to your town? Just activated the winter background, which means that on the mobile app and on browser as well, you will have a very snowy background. It's not possible to have your buildings full of snow, but that's what the winter event is for, right? We have a lot of buildings that are very snowy to give your city a little bit of a winter touch. Okay. From Tina, today we got the Royal Restoration in the main HUD overview. Will Sip of Clarity also come? It will give a better overview. That's a good point. At the moment, I think Sip of Clarity is only in crafting. You can only see it there in a tooltip. So that could be a good idea. We will forward that.
Yes.
Let's see. So when does the event start? It actually starts on Monday, so only a few days left.
6th of December.
Yeah. Let's see. Some feedback as well from Tan. Love the snow effect in game. That's very good to hear. Okay, so from Lintje, why isn't there a possibility to have a spare place where you can put houses or workshops, something else temporarily to give everything a new place so it fits better? So at the moment we have the teleport spell, right? So you can make a little bit of room in your city to store stuff temporarily. You can win those in the Spire. Okay. What about the returning daily buildings that we have? Because I see quite a few mentioned like previous buildings and how cool they were, and if they're going to return. So what can you tell us about that, Tiago?
So I think we can go into one of use these questions to go deep into one of the new things we're bringing to the winter event. So first of all, if you want to have the older buildings from previous events, they will be most of the times the best rated buildings will be added to the daily reward rotation. So if you want to get that building you didn't get in 2020 or 2019, if the building was liked, it will be probably there. Apart from that, we also implemented on the last event the daily reward reroll. So sometimes we have the building there, but you are not playing on that day. That's not a problem because every time you collect the gifts will also charge the daily reward rotation. So every 5 gifts you collect, you can reroll the daily reward and look for the one you've missed. Important to tell is while you reroll, it doesn't affect your progression into the grand prizes and the royal prizes. It's an extra you get. And for these events specifically, we created something completely new for you. In these events, we're presenting you what we call the tomes. The first option you will see during your grand prize rotation is the Tome of Opulence. Normally, you would find coins refill or supply refill spells, and now we're giving you the option to decide. The Tome of Opulence will allow you to decide if you want to have the coins, you get the coins. If you want to get supplies, you still get the supplies. But if you need also knowledge points instead of both of them, you can also decide. So it's up to you to decide which of the prizes will fit you better. And using the same tome mechanics, we bring you also the Tome of Winter Spirits and the Tome of Snowy Instants. Those are very, very interesting, and I think they will be very desirable. If you are really into the winter spirits and you really work your way through the quests and collect all the postal keys, you'll be presented with first the Tome of Winter Spirits that will allow you to construct any evil building for the last 2 winter magic events or the current one. So if you missed the gingerbread mention, you can still have it. The O from last year, you can get it. And there's also another possibility. We have the Tome of Snowy Instants that will help you finish that little bit that was missing from 2020. On these tomes, you will find not only the evolution artifacts for the current year, but if you have that Watchful O from on stage 9, you can pick the evolution item needed for 2020 and 2019 and conclude your progress in the evil building. Apart from that, you already have everything on stage 10. Also, no problem. We're going to give you 4 royal restorations that you can use to bring your Watchful O or your gingerbread mention to the chapter you were in 2019, all the way to the chapter you are now. So we give you the option to decide what strategy you're going to use to bring your evil buildings to the strongest condition.
Yeah, I think the tomes are a great addition. Also because I think we've discussed them a few times in Q&As like this. We have received the feedback that players would like to choose what kind of reward they want between different options, and now it's finally possible for us to do that with the tomes. I think that's really awesome. Do you have some teasers for us?
Do you have
for the daily
some
reward
teasers
buildings
for
that
us
will
for the
be
daily
returning
reward
this time?
buildings that will be returning
For the
this
daily
time?
reward building that will be returning
For the daily
this time?
reward building that
Yes,
will
of
be
course.
So we bring you back one of the buildings that people like a lot, especially because of how much population it gives you. You're going to find only on the first day, and if you reroll, the Goblin Gift Shop. So if you need population, that's a must go. We also have the beautiful Winter Star that will give you also culture and population. We brought back also from 2019 the Frozen Winter Owl. It's a very beautiful building that will give you a lot of mana, and some other buildings that are winter related, the Goblin's Light, the Ghost of Past, Present, and Future, the Elvenid Logistics Centers, and we liked it. We brought some candy cane factories and some unicorns.
Yeah, lots of returning buildings, and the winter buildings are also always really popular as well because they're also really strong.
Yes.
Okay, So some more feedback from Asia. I like what you do with the events.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Rena has a question. Does the event still run for 32 days?
And a half.
Okay, 30 days. I think we have 30 daily quests, right, and 30 lock-in bonuses. Yeah. Falcon Wing is asking, in the future, could we see Vikings in the game? What do you think, Thiago?
I don't think it's impossible to see Vikings in the game, but so far, as I can see for the next chapters, not yet. But could be a direction. Sounds really interesting.
Yeah, it's a cool idea. From Anne, some feedback as well. Thank you for listening to feedback. It's being reflected in all the improvements. Thank you. Yeah, we're doing our best. Particularly grateful for the new event building having magical manufactory spells. Yeah, I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Kevin is asking if we can have more province expansions, not only one per chapter plus research expansions. That's an interesting thing. I mean, you never have enough space, right? Nobody ever does. It's one of the main challenges in Elvenar that you have to optimize your city and you have to make it as efficient as you can so you can place all the buildings you need. And we try to balance it in a way that it works out. But sure, I mean, there's always the option in future chapters that we give you a little bit more space. But I think for now, the ones that we have, or the chapters, they're going to stay with the space that they offer you. Okay. And Squirrely, how about an artifact that will evolve different items? One size fits all artifact. What do you think?
I don't see at the moment an artifact that will evolve all the different evil buildings, but definitely the option of having the tomes will already give you an item that will allow you to evolve a specific set of buildings. So we are walking towards making the decisions more open for the players so they can spend the artifacts, they can get the artifact they want, but one size fits all, I'm not so sure yet.
Yeah, it would be really powerful, right? So, okay. From Gitta, love the new frozen father tree, I think. They're good culture buildings. Can we please get daily prices that give you Nurium as well?
Yeah, that's a very interesting request. At the moment, I'm not so sure. Let's go slow with your Nurium. It's a newly introduced goods, but you already get a bunch of Unurium if you make your Bobblin's Express service all the way to stage 10. That I can assure that you're going to have a lot of increase on it.
Yeah, a lot of additional Unurium, especially because you can only produce in the trader,
yes.
right? And I think some premium culture buildings as well. Yeah. Okay, from Barb. Would be nice to get an event building that gives pet food. What do you think?
It's not out of the possibilities. We just have to evaluate how you're going to do it. Pet foods are also quite strong items. So it has to be balanced in a way that is rewarding and not that frustrating. So I will keep it in mind. Maybe we do one.
Cool. So from Donna, what about evolution artifacts for the Ashen Phoenix? I don't think we have them in the game at the moment, so you can't earn them at the moment. But there will probably be an Easter event next year, centered around phoenixes. So I would keep an eye out for those artifacts around that time. From Sue, I would like to see the Moonstone library back in the Spire. Yeah, the Moonstone library is really powerful. It's a great reward. At the moment, we have it in crafting, right? So if you don't have one, you can craft it. So that's one way to get it at the moment. instead of the Moonstone library, you can win Artifact Spire at the moment. That's also been a request from a lot of players that you can finish up your older evolution buildings that you haven't quite finished in one of your first events, maybe, and giving everybody the opportunity to earn the missing artifacts in the Spire at the moment. So there's not really the room for the Moonstone library as well, but it might return at some point.
Artificial.
So from Eliena, what level do you have to be at to get these things, like all the event rewards? Do you have to be in a specific chapter?
No, you don't need to be on a specific chapter. We see that players from chapter 2 are capable of completing all the quest line. And if you complete the quest line, I'm 100% sure that you're going to get all these rewards, all the ones we have available. The event is made for you to complete the event and get everything we're giving you.
Yep. I mean, strategy
Definitely.
also plays a role, right? Yeah. From Stella, can we get storage for Ancient Wonders, please? We just added support for evolution buildings that you can store them in your inventory by using teleport spells, which was a pretty big step for us. Ancient Wonders are a little bit more complicated even, because there's a lot of calculations going on with Ancient Wonders right around your city. Getting them out of the city and putting them back in like that will be really complicated for us. So I don't think it's going to happen, at least not in the next few months. Okay. Can you put a tab in the inventory bar that will take me to my builder's hut so I don't have to keep searching? That sounds like a nice little improvement. From Janice, will there be anything in the event that will help me with Divine Seeds?
With Divine Seeds? Yes, of course. The Bobbling Express service is designed to give you the reward, the goods you need in each of the chapters. So depending on the chapter you currently are, you either get supplies, or you get mana, or you get seeds, or you get Unurium. So if you are below chapter 18, from 17, 16, and below, you will be getting seeds. So that will be a boost you're going to have now for the seeds. And when you reach the point where you need Unurium, then the building will get to that chapter. You're going to get your Unurium.
Yeah, I think we also have a lot of smaller buildings, right, in the reward rotation that have seeds. I think the logistics center.
We have the ice slide that gives you culture and seeds. We have the magic supply station that also gives you culture and seeds. And we have the Elvenade Logistics Center that also gives you seeds. So also these three buildings on the daily reward can help you with seeds.
Yeah, so keep an eye out for those. Another question from Rena. Would there be Fire Phoenix artifacts in the spring as well? We haven't settled on that yet, but I think it's a good bet. In previous years, we've always had the Fire Phoenix artifacts as well. I don't see a reason why we wouldn't have them next year, but no promises. Okay. Louise is asking, is there any help to delete a building for more space, but without losing so much culture and population? I don't think so. I mean, you can replace your existing buildings with more efficient ones. Like Thiago said, the Goblin gift shop that we will have in the winter event is one of the strongest ones in the game. So that would be a good one to keep an eye out for. And then you can replace some of the less efficient ones with that one and probably gain a little bit of space in your city. Okay. And another one from Luis. Can we give neighborly help in one go so that you don't have to click in every city on the world map? You cannot do that at the moment. It's a little bit easier on the mobile app to give neighborly help. It's a little bit less tedious. Working on a solution for browser as well. It's just taking some time. But we're hoping that beginning of next year we can give you an update on how that's going and make it a little bit easier to give neighborly help there as well. Because we see that it's a little bit annoying to do that, or it's actually quite annoying. Some more feedback from Falcon Wing. It's a fun game. Thank you. We think so too. From Anne, do you have any plans to revamp the Fellowship adventures? Revamp is a big word. Definitely planning to do improvements. Another question, would you please have a program for exchanging rune shards to royal restoration? Any thoughts on that?
Rune shards to royal restorations. Now we don't have any plan to change rune shards to royal restoration, but we are thinking on how we can use the rune shards in a way more efficient if you have too many rune shards of a type. So we are investigating that. And yeah, changing to royal restoration could be an option. It's still under debate what to do with the rune shards.
Yeah, we are working on rune shards at the moment. Trying to make sure that there's a purpose for them. So there might be some news on that in the near future. More feedback from Helena. You're doing a really great job.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. Let's see. So the time warp ancient wonder gives sentient boosts. Gives a sentient goods boost. Is that for all sentient goods?
Yeah.
I think so. I think it applies to all of them.
I think so also.
From Ward, is there a way to get the Last Pilgrims building from the Sorcerer's event that we had in the summer?
You mean the Pilgrim set?
Yeah, I
think
it's
possible.
So. Yeah, might be something to look out for in the near future as well. Lady Tum Tum, I love the graphics and design. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. From Robert, can you guys add a way to get blueprints apart from diamonds or reaching the 10th chest in the tournament?
We already have blueprints in the Royal Prize Pass.
Yep. I mean, that's for diamonds as well, right?
You have a point.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big discount, right? So if you want to buy some blueprints, if you want to spend some diamonds on them, the Royal Pass is a great way to do it, right? Because you get a lot of other stuff as well in the event. But I don't think we have any plans at the moment to do any additional sources for blueprints. But it's also something that might happen in the future. Okay, so one more question from Sue. Can the rune shards go straight into the Ancient Wonder instead of having to keep clicking them in?
I think clicking is important, right? Because the shards that go into the Ancient Wonders, they go into the roulette to actually see if they fit in an open rune or a rune that is already used. So I think clicking is part of one of the most important parts of the mechanics. And it could be a little bit frustrating if you get 10 rune shards and then you end up with 6 broken shards and you did not actively decide to do that mechanic.
Yeah, and like we said, there might be a way to spend your rune shards differently in the future as well. And that would not be possible if it just works automatically. And it's not too many clicks, right? Per rune shard phase, it's just around 20 clicks to insert the rune shards after all. All right, so that was the last question. That's all the time we have. So thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for all your questions. And obviously, thank you very much for playing Elvenar. And we hope you keep enjoying it. and we will keep enjoying. Making improvements to it and adding new stuff. And we hope you like that as well. So see you next time.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.